Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and your daily cast of characters, where we discuss the issues of the day, entertainment news, what's really going on in Washington, and the world. Why don't we just hear it from the horse's mouth himself?
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. I don't think it's safe to be briefed on national security because the word will get out. I know at some point they're going to want to brief me, but I'm not a talker about this stuff. This is like Watergate, only it's worse. Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
Of course, it turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server. They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse.
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
Yes, indeed. And good morning, good afternoon, hello world. It is that time to get it kicking. Like the funky drum we're listening to right now. That's kicking. That's like 10 pounds of shaving powder. Funky. You remember that from the Ohio Players? Carol, I know you don't know nothing about that. That was before your time, right?
I don't know. Remember I told you where I'm from. I didn't get to live
that was 1973, 74, somewhere in there. So you were up there, Montana. Tony Montana. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. I was trying to look for this press that I seen. I thought I put it up.
A press?
Well,
What do you mean?
on some new stuff that's going on.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a terrible bombing over in Afghanistan.
And it was close to all the embassies.
Yeah. That was a
But
horrific
what's
situation.
the one the Taliban said they would never have done that?
Yeah, I think they know better.
No, they said they don't just kill civilians.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a. Can you imagine living under that kind of daily scrutiny and chance of something like that going down? That would drive me crazy. That would definitely drive your boy Natsola. Let's say good morning to Chris. What's up, Chris?
Boom, shakalaka.
There you go. That's how
There
you
you go. That's
start
how you
that
do
thing.
it. That's how you do it. Good morning, Lee. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning.
Yeah. We're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
how's everything? How's everything?
Everything's everything.
That was a funky drum set. I bob my head every time I hear it.
Yeah, get you going. Good start for Shizzo.
That's how you do it, man.
So what's happening there in Chicago?
It was not happening is the question. We'll get to that later on. But, dude, I'm telling you, this weather, I can't take no more.
What's wrong with the weather?
Well, it's the same old thing. We have all these different types of coldness. I mean, it's May 31st, and we should be, into the warmer climate.
Right.
I mean, it's like in the 60s out here, man. It's ridiculous. As
Well-
my former boss used to say, it's goddamn ridiculous.
Well, to make you feel a little better, maybe.
Oh, here we go.
It's only in the 60s here in L.A. and Southern California.
Yeah, but
Can you
it'll
believe it?
increase. You'll get into the 70s, won't you, today?
No, actually, it's going to go down.
Oh, okay.
They keep being wrong with the weather reports lately because it was supposed to get hot yesterday and it didn't.
Well, it probably did in the valley and places like that, but not here.
No, but it was
Yeah.
drizzly when I was walking this morning.
Yeah, I saw it on my windshield when I came out. But, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, like currently right now it's like 55 degrees.
55?
55, double nickel.
Yep. That's pretty chilly. That is
That's cold.
pretty chilly.
Yeah, it's cold-blooded, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm having trouble here with Periscope. Share. Yesterday I got it to work, but today, wait a minute. Do I have the Yeah, the stream is going. I don't know.
No, you're good with
Sometime.
Periscope. You haven't had French people come in there and cuss you out in French, right?
No, haven't had that experience yet.
Oh, okay.
So do
No.
you speak French?
Oui, and
Oh.
PP. That's about it, really.
Oui. French toast, French fries.
Yeah, I go along with that.
Yep. Hey, good morning, Alfo.
Good morning, Lee, Carol, Chris. How's everybody this morning?
Not too shabby. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, like you said, the weather is bad or not so good or iffy, but other than that, I'm all right.
Hey, that
That's good.
thing we tested yesterday, that it was able to knock it down,
Yeah, I think they.
which they felt is pretty good news because he's really threatening us, and Russia's got some threats in there too.
Yeah.
They don't get this man out of office, we're headed to major war.
Well,
He's turning the whole world against us.
I think he's already done a good job at
Yeah.
firing that up. Yeah, it's good that we tested this defense system against any intercontinental
But if they
ballistic
blew it up,
missiles.
wouldn't the nuclear stuff be in the air anyway?
I guess it depends on if it's armed. I'm not certain about that. That's a good question. And
Well, you
that's a
don't
question
think
I've
if
asked.
North Korea sent it here, it wouldn't be armed?
Well, I don't think it's armed during the entire flight. They can
Right,
arm it,
yeah.
turn it on or turn it off when they
Right.
want it to be active.
It arms automatically just before
Impact.
impact. And
So if
it's,
we
so many
struck
minutes.
it, that would be impact.
No, wrong kind of impact.
Yeah. But that's a good question. I mean, the atomic warhead, I mean, why wouldn't it be deadly even, if we blew it up? Isn't it some kind of igniting of the, I don't know, is it chemicals or I'm not
No.
sure.
No.
So it's harmless until it is designated by its own
there-
device.
There are certain things that must occur or be in play for it to be to go ape on us.
Gotcha.
But,
Well,
I
I,
mean,
hope,
it's just-
I hope
just
that's
too
the
bad.
case.
It's just too bad we can't drag that bastard out in the street but one time and kill him. You know?
Well, and like I've been saying, one tomahawk missile to the head will do it.
Yeah. Well,
Let's find out where he is and send one of those bad boys in there, and it's over. Because I think the rest of his regime will throw their hands up in the air and wave it around like they just don't care and say, I surrender. Because I don't think they really, really want to go into a real war with America and our allies.
That's so
if
sad.
we got any left.
That thing in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
we got any of that.
They're showing you all these pictures. It's sad.
and 11 Americans apparently have been killed.
Well, you had all the embassies. They said it's an area where
Mm-hmm.
normally things like that don't happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, these are the times that we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. It's not pretty.
Shape of things to come.
Yep. Not pretty. Is there an answer? Maybe. Do we have the
Well, didn't
will
he?
and desire right now from our current administration to avoid conflict?
No, he's a strong man, okay?
Yeah.
Didn't he just pull us away from global warming this morning or something?
Yeah, he's opting out of the climate agreement with the other countries, and it's my understanding that it'll take a while to do that. The the low fruit that's hanging here that nobody will pick or pick up off the ground is the simple fact that this man is giving progressives, the progressive caucus, the progressive agenda, a liberal agenda, so much ammunition it's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they just aren't messaging. Their messaging sucks.
Well, look how he wants to now change the voting for 2018, where they only have to have so many to win. And that's one of the things he's trying to do.
So many.
I guess it's a certain amount they have to have, and he wants to change it to where they have less than that, where they could win.
Well, I don't think an electoral college is in play. That's only on a presidential
No,
race.
there's something he was talking about. I seen it yesterday.
I'm not sure what
He
that
thinks
could be.
he can change every law that exists.
Well, he wants to be the dictator, the autocrat. He thinks that this is a business, and he has the final say on everything. You know, I keep listening to people like Malcolm Nance and folks like Maxine Waters. Malcolm Nance is a conservative, but he's also a former CIA spy. Or if he has great knowledge about how to catch a spy and you know, spies in general. What this boy, his son-in-law, did violated the Logan Act, violated the Espionage Act, and he lied on his vetting application. That's 5 years in jail for every lie he told. So, do you think the Justice Department is going to prosecute him? Hell no. He's a billionaire real estate slumlord, and he's going to be protected.
Yeah, that's the scary part of all of this. That there's enough internal corruption by people like him, like-minded. They're in the same club, if you will, and it's one of their boys, no matter what. You know, he's powerful, he's rich, and I'm not sure that there's a whole lot that can be done, and that's disturbing. So he's above the law.
Well, I think that Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, and I think those others who lied on their application or who lied in their confirmation process, I think they should be sued. And Jeff Sessions has violated his oath of office, period.
Yep.
Period. And so is Donald Trump.
I agree. The whole cabinet, as far as I'm concerned, is corrupt. And if they're not, they are a party to the corruption. And if they don't stand up and disengage from the corruption, then they're a part of it.
I say they're already a part of it. Disengaging is no longer an option.
Well, that's reality. I agree with you on that. I agree with you 100%. I can't get Periscope to work the way I want it to. This is bull.
Be careful. You don't want anybody to get on there and start cussing you out in a foreign language.
That might be better.
All right, man. Don't worry. Be careful.
It wouldn't offend me because I don't know what the hell they're saying, so it might be okay. I'll just give them the all-American bird.
You know,
Okay,
it's
that's
funny
universal.
that they got so upset with Kathy Griffith that she did that thing with Trump being beheaded. And there's so much, even Democrats were mad at her because they just don't like her. But what about when Trump and them put the thing up of Obama and they had a rope around his neck?
Yeah.
I don't quite understand what's the difference.
How soon we forget.
Well, yeah, it's the classic double standard. If I do something, don't do what I do. So I can, for example, back then, when President Barack Obama was in office, I could make fun of Obama. I could have these images of him with the
They would make him monkeys
Joker
and
makeup
stuff.
on, right, with the Hitler mustache on and things of that nature. And yeah, we can do that. But when somebody else does it, no, that's wrong. So it's classic double standard. The thing about Kathy Griffin is the fact that, yes, it's very horrific. She has a right to express herself, but like anything else, be careful what you do because you will get backlash, especially nowadays.
Oh,
Everything
she came in and
instantaneous.
apologized today, but the
Oh, yeah, she had
photographer,
to because she still wants to work.
but the photographer refused to take it down. He said, "No, I'm not. It's art." Because if you look at the stuff that they did with Trump, there was one town that literally put like a mannequin and they had it hanging when you came in. So I don't quite understand this, why they're all so upset.
Yeah. I don't think we should go to extremes. Alpha, I'm muting you because you're breathing into the microphone and you might get all the perverts excited. So,
The whole thing went out.
oh really?
That the whole,
Oh, okay, you lost your connection.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, move your mic away from your nose. You just put it like maybe down around your chin.
Let me take this oxygen out. Maybe that helps.
I don't know. It sounds like you're breathing. You're breathing. Don't take the oxygen out. We don't want you to
We
die.
don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want you to die live on the air, you know?
No, keep the perverts, man. We try to get all the listeners we can get.
See, here's all the stuff they did, and this is what Kathy Griffith did. Look at all the stuff they did to Obama. But it was even some of our own Democrats were all complaining. News was complaining. I go, how fast we forget. It became an open target for Obama when they would make fun of his kids and
Yeah.
put up pictures of apes and that.
Make fun of the first lady, yes.
It's
I remember all of
it's
it.
frightening to me that
Her arms were
this is
showing,
all
okay, Chris?
happening.
Yeah.
You got too many arms. You can't have two arms showing.
I mean, you don't even
Her-
see a lot of things on news. Like there was some Native Americans, I think it was yesterday, day before, and they were at this camping thing, and this white guy came through spinning cookies with this car and almost missed him. And they yelled, and he started yelling racial things. He ran one of them over. Did you see it all over the news? No, you didn't.
Yeah.
And they still don't want to call that white guy when they took him to court yesterday. If you could have heard him, he doesn't feel no guilt about killing those two guys. And the one that lived, you should see the cut of when he cut him. He just missed it. And to listen to the story, and they don't want to call him a terrorist. He is a terrorist.
Absolutely.
I mean, to see him in court, I don't know if anybody watched it, but horrible man, horrible. So racist. It's disgusting. He thinks it's okay that he killed these guys protecting these two young girls. They were just teenage girls, and I mean, these girls had to see all that, and they said the parents was on and she was just crying. The mother, one of the girls, she said, I just feel so bad that the guys that were protecting my daughters are dead.
Yeah, it's a shame. We live in a crazy world, and the biggest problem is there's no respect for life. There's no caring, no love. There's no sensitivity to the loss of life. None. And how do you repair that? How do you get that back to, being normal? I don't know. I don't know.
You don't.
Now, is Pence starting to turn on Trump? I heard something.
I don't know.
Anybody that sits there and goes along with this, there's something wrong with you.
No, anybody who sits there and goes along with it is complicit. You can't next year or if they impeach him say, well, I'm glad that's over. Now we can do regular business. No, you were with him. You can't disown that.
Exactly.
You got that stench on you, and that's how it should be treated.
That's a good way of looking at it. You got the stench on you. You
stank
smell.
to be damned.
Right.
Yeah, you stank, man.
You smell. You smell bad. There's nothing nice about you. And you need to fix this crapola.
I want to read this quote from Kathy Griffin from her Instagram video. She says the following: I'm a comic. I cross the line. I move the line, then I cross it. I went way too far. The image is too disturbing. I understand how it offends people. It wasn't funny. I get it. And once, let me say this up front. I really thank the comedians and the late night host for attacking this man. And I do mean attack verbally, of course, because they give a discourse that people want to hear. Case in point, you look at, for example, Seth Meyers, NBC's late night, who vowed and said on public national television that Donald Trump is banned from his show. That's a major step to say. This is before he became president, of course. But the fact that after he had him on his show, he said this man cannot return ever again. And so to make a stance like that, and once again we see what Stephen Colbert is doing on CBS on his program, you have these people who really are well-rounded thinkers. You may not agree what they say or do, but they do think. It may not be to your liking, but they do think. And some people gravitate towards that, which is the reason why Stephen Colbert's Late Show is doing well in the ratings. People need that other side that speaks to them. Because it's obvious 45 has dissension. They have people, of course, that gravitate towards 45, of course, but they also have the voice of others who feel differently, and that's what they come in at.
Exactly. We've got to we've got to figure out how to get this narrative, and Alfo talks about it a lot. We've got to change the narrative. We've got to get out front in front of the issues. We've got to do better at messaging from the Democratic Party. I do know that there are some good Democrats out there that are upset about what's going on. Are the Democrats doing enough? That's what I'm not certain of. I'm not feeling the impact.
No, they're not. You've had Adam Schiff. He's been to the microphone only because he's on the Intelligence Committee.
Mm-hmm.
Maxine Waters has come to every show that will have her to bring her point of view, along with Malcolm Nance. Where are his taxes? Period. Subpoena his taxes and pressure each committee and pressure the Republican Party to subpoena his taxes. All of these committees are controlled by Republicans. The so-called second in command at the Attorney General, at the DOJ, he's nothing more than a Republican tool. Everybody wants to say how straight arrow he is and how a straight shooter. No. He is a right-wing tool. Because if he were not, he would have convened a special grand jury by now. Even though he has a special prosecutor, by him being the Department of Justice, and if Sessions was supposed to recuse himself, how does he write a letter that Trump considers when he so-called fired him for the letter for shit that happened back in July?
See, it's a little things, and that's not really a little thing. That's a major thing as far as I'm concerned. But people are not paying attention to it, and I don't think it's being addressed with any kind of consistency. You know, you see articles that pop up and then they disappear. Why?
Well, Lee, when you talk about messaging, when you talk about are they participating enough, and I said no. I said no, not just because not enough people are participating, because their language is soft and too simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
When you speak of Donald Trump, you need to use the term illegitimate, traitor, Putin puppet. You must make him prove otherwise. He said he would release his taxes. His taxes will tell us how much money he owes Russia. His taxes will also tell us and give us a fair idea of, the money laundering. They're going to get him. It'll be for money laundering and the RICO Act. the
But let me ask you a question on that. The Internal Revenue has possession of his taxes, right? He
right,
filed. So
right.
wouldn't the Internal Revenue be investigating whether or not the tax information is proper, if it's above board? I mean, we wouldn't need another investigation. It seems to me that the Internal Revenue would always look for those kind of things. They
Just
they
like
can
it-
see money laundering, and they can say, wait a minute, where did this money come from? You know, there was a deposit for $500,000 on this day. Where did that money come from? Because I know if I make a deposit of $10,000 or more into my account, it could fall under scrutiny.
Well, it does because anything over a certain amount they
Yeah,
report.
$10,000. Anything over
that's just in this
$9,999. It
and
hits
that's just in
10,000.
this
Boom.
country. That's just in this country. I am telling you, this man has accounts in foreign banks who have
Well, most
strict-
wealthy people do.
Yeah, but that
Exactly.
wouldn't show up on his income tax.
Right, exactly. But what will show up, they're doing a fiscal forensics on his money, and they will get at where his money is.
Well, damn, how long
especially-
is it going to take to do that?
Probably
Well,
when he
you have-
gets out of office.
Right, and then too, you have to look at it like this: all of this is moot, because if you get him while he's in office, his success is going to part him.
I don't
know,
care about all that. He needs to get got. You
Okay,
know?
but you get him and leave Mike Pence.
Okay, then
you think
he's
do
got
you
dirty
think
underwear
anything's
on
gonna
his.
change?
Yeah, Mike Pence
you
has
thi-
dirty
Mike
underwear
Pence-
as well.
Okay,
So
so
after
how do
you
you
get
get
one,
Mike Pence?
you investigate his monkey butt. Why
He's
not?
as irrational. He's not as irrational and careless.
Yeah, you're right.
As a
I'd rather
Donald
see
Trump.
him. Yeah,
He's not
to be
as
honest.
arrogant. He's not as arrogant to think that you're not going to touch him because he's who he is. Mike Pence is a right-wing, homophobic, Islamophobic, racist as it is.
Right.
And that's basically all you can pin on him.
Yeah,
He
but
doesn't-
Mike Pence's demeanor is more like passive aggressive.
Exactly. Mike Pence reminds me of the Russian in one of the Bond movies with the white hair. You know he's evil.
Yeah. I don't know. This guy, at least based on my knowledge, and I might be wrong, I don't know that Mike Pence has relationships with foreign governments all over the world doing
He
business
doesn't.
with them.
He does not. That's why when you say get him too, you will never be able to get a Republican House to start impeachment proceedings. You will never get 2/3 of the Senate to
Well-
find him guilty. And
Well,
impeach
you're
him.
right. In the current complexion of our government, how it's formed, all three branches is controlled by one party. That's why I preach every day, November 6, 2018, has to change the House and the Senate. That would be step one to getting us into the right direction, at least giving us some kind of backbone and pushback on how government is being run right now. I mean, it's happened before when President Obama was in power, and when his first couple of years, he had control of the House and the Senate, and he lost it. So why can't the same thing happen now? If we get out and vote in mass numbers, make this the biggest midterm election turnout
Yeah,
of
but
all time.
Trump's trying to fix that where that ain't
Well,
gonna
you know,
happen.
then we need to fix him and get him in he needs to be neutralized some kind of way. And I know you're right, Alfo, by your statement of the Congress is not going to do anything against him. I get it. I totally understand that. And they're chicken shit for being in that position. And I'm going to call it the way it is. You're spineless jellyfish. You have no backbone. You're going to stand behind wrong? Your name
Exactly.
Your name is
It's
on
called-
the delete list. Delete
It's
these
called
clowns
party-
because
it's party over country. Period.
and that's not right.
The country
I
be
have a
damned.
feeling, though, they are going to bring Pence in and they are going to impeach Trump.
Well,
But I feel
I'll take
I'd
that
rather
right
see
now.
Pence in because I think he's a little smarter politically wise. I think he lets his religion get in the way and things he wants to do. There's no way they're going to let him do what he wants to do to homosexuals. No way.
well, who's going to stop him?
Exactly.
I think the people
Who-
are going to stop him.
Who's going to stop him?
It doesn't work. My friend had it done. It doesn't
I
work.
agree, Carol. We do not disagree on the.
No,
the
no, I'm not
validity.
arguing with you. I'm saying it doesn't work. My friend laughs about it.
Yeah,
His
well, your
parents
friends,
did it to him. And
they're wrong.
and all the gay people swear Pence was probably gay and it was done to him. He looks gay to me. I've seen pictures people have posted where he's wearing a crop top.
Yeah, I've seen those same pictures.
Yeah, so
And
I
he looks
think
college.
he's angry. He's angry because he married somebody that he calls mama. He calls her mother. That's normal for a guy that marries a woman that's really gay.
Oh, Lord.
And she doesn't look like somebody that would be married to him because he's a very good-looking man. She isn't no tiny little blonde or tiny. She's
Hey, mama.
yeah.
Mother.
But they're
Mother. But
saying
that
they're
happens
taking polls and they're saying Republicans are turning to where they would rather see Pence in there than Trump.
Well, I think they wanted
Yeah,
him
but-
from day one. They
but
never
right,
wanted
that-
Trump.
They did.
That's the master plan. You see,
He didn't win
Mike
the
Pence-
popular vote though, Trump. That's the joke.
while he didn't win the popular vote, he really stole the electoral college map, and that's you don't see enough. You don't see enough being said or done about this cross check.
I just can't see him doing something like that because I seen something. I watched a video where in Indonesia or somewhere, and where they were using that whip or whatever, the caning. When they spanned into the audience, you seen very few people laughing. You could see they were very upset, especially young guys, because when I've been overseas, it's very common, especially to see people from India and those countries, all the men holding hands. It's very common to see that. They don't, just like in the Middle East, they don't look at that as being gay because they're not having sex with a woman. But when they're royalty and younger, they all get given what they call a young boy servant. Now, I've met some of these as adults when I was over there because of who I was with over there, and they were definitely gay. And it's their best friend, and they're together all the time. But they, in their mind, that's not doing nothing wrong. You'll see that everywhere in the Middle East. You'll see in the evening time, you won't see no women out. You'll drive down the freeway or whatever they call it. You'll see thousands of men laying on the side, up on little hill things, and they're laying on each other's laps and holding hands. And you'll see it everywhere in the cities. At a certain time in the evening, you do not see the women out. So it's just when
Different
Pence
cultures.
Where's the
talks
women
like this, what does he think he's going to flog somebody? Because my son's gay, and I know damn well he ain't touching my son. That sometimes it's not a choice.
Yeah.
People can think what they want, but being a person and being around people, I have lots of friends where their kids are gay, and you could tell from the time they were babies, when they were 1 and 2 years old, where they were at. I've seen it many times, and
Well,
it's not his decision or anybody's to
Right.
determine who somebody is.
I
I
would-
mean, that's why men hide it in the closet for years.
Yeah.
And they marry a woman, they have a bunch of kids, and then they get around 50 and they're like, what am I doing? I don't like women.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling Bruce Jenner's book, when it comes out, it's going to tell you a whole lot. And I know his ex-wife's going to be furious because I've already heard he said that every time he touched her, it bothered him. And you see this all the time where men will marry a woman just to stop. But they're not stopping nothing.
Well, it's
that-
stopping the
yeah, I'm sorry,
public
go ahead.
response. They're in a position when Bruce was King of the Hill, a big sports figure, and on the Wheaties box and all of that. He couldn't come out at that point and say,
Why?
I'm gay.
Your
And
track
plus
stars do.
that was but that was 30, 40 years ago.
No,
It's
you got a
different
track
time.
star. I'm trying to think what his name was. He was around years ago. Young Carl Lewis. Is
Yeah.
it Carl?
Yeah.
Gay for days.
Yeah, well,
Most of the track people are.
I
I
didn't
have
know
a
he
friend
was gay.
that. Yes, he was
Did
gay.
he come out
I'm
and
just-
say he was gay
He
publicly?
is gay.
I didn't know.
Yes.
No, but I
you're
never
just
heard it
telling me
publicly.
Oh,
I've never
he's
heard
gay. He's gay.
that. Okay.
And
Okay,
my
what I'm
friend
saying
was
is,
good
did he ever
friends
come
with
out
another
publicly
guy
and say
that
it to
ran
the
track,
public?
and but you don't have to. Why should people hide it? It's a new world.
Did you hear it? The question
What?
from Chris?
No,
Yeah, did he come out publicly to the press or to the public
I
and
don't
say
think
I'm
he
gay,
had
meaning
to.
Carl
Everybody
Lewis?
knew it.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know.
everybody. I knew it.
I didn't. That was the first time I ever heard it.
I
was
didn't
you,
either.
You just mentioning it. Not that it matters. I don't give a damn one way or the other.
No, it doesn't
but,
matter. Why should it?
But what I'm saying is,
I mean, it would blow your mind to go to a female gay club to see the beautiful women in there that want nothing to do with a man.
well, that doesn't surprise me. I've seen that, throughout my life. But there is a reason why people don't disclose their sexual preferences, and that's because of society and how society views things. And it's a lot different today than what it was 30, 40, 50, or 100 years ago even.
Oh, absolutely
So-
right.
I mean, it's nothing new, like you were stating over in the Middle East and back in the days of Caesar and all of that. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, but
we
I
know
mean,
that.
there's a movie out. It's called The Kite Runner, I believe. And these little boys that were in the movie couldn't go back to that country because it basically shows you what goes on. See, because they're taught they can't. They're not supposed to touch a woman until they marry her or such and such. But then they
Right.
can have 8 wives after that. But I seen it all over the place. I was blown away in the evening time when I seen thousands of men, and it's very common to see them, especially and the men from India, how they all hold hands and that, and it's no big deal because they don't
Right.
they don't perceive it that way, and I don't think it's anybody's business. It's like I did look Carl Lewis up, and they say he denied it, he has this, but he is gay. That's a known fact. They
How's
say
that-
that's why that one athlete can't stand him. The one recently that they claim donated all his money.
Who was that? A track guy? Track star?
Yeah, Bolt.
Oh.
Carl Lewis got mad at him because he was criticizing gays.
Mm.
But that I've always known that. But
I
maybe
never-
I
I
live in
never
a
knew.
different world than you guys
I
because
never knew it.
I'm in the business. I'm a hair person.
Well, you know
and
what? I'm
we
just,
see more of that than what you guys are going to see because they don't hide it
course.
from us.
but here's the thing. I don't go looking for it either.
I didn't look for it.
You know what I mean?
just figured everybody knew that.
No, I didn't.
No.
I don't know. Alfo, did you know that? Had you heard that before? He muted himself. Okay. Mute. No, I'd never heard that. I mean, again, I don't care one way or the other. It's,
Right.
That's his personal preference. If that's the case, and if that is, then it is what it is. I don't care.
Right. You don't
You know,
care.
be happy.
Right, exactly. And people have come forward and said, I'm gay, I'm lesbian. I wouldn't care if they didn't do it or not.
No, what
But
does
they
it
have the
matter? If it
Right,
makes
it doesn't
them
matter. Like,
happy.
for example, comedian Lily Tomlin came out a couple of years ago, said she was lesbian. Now, I didn't care
Wanda Sykes is.
what she does,
Wanda don't like no man, and she won't deny it. I mean, being in the business, I probably see more of it than you guys do.
Yeah.
I worked on commercials and things with athletes and different stuff, and it's never fazed me one way or the other. People go, "Well, did it bother you when knowing your son?" I said, "Never. I love my son. I would be angry if he killed somebody. That would be a different story because you can't take. But I've never had a problem with it. Never. And most of my friends that their kids, their daughters, their son, most are either bisexual or gay. None of us have a problem. But it's probably because of what I do for a living, and I'm a very open person. I'm an artist. I just want people to be happy. And people that don't like it, I don't know what to tell them. I've seen parents that don't know their kid is, and they'll sit and go on and on. Oh, my kid never. And I've seen their son with another man, but I don't tell them that. If they want to be so strong against it, be against it. But love your child for who they are.
Well, that's all you can do. That's all you should do as a parent and, family member or associate.
Just
friend.
friends in general. I've
right.
had many friends that have had a few hit on me. I thought, oh, no, I don't like girls. I don't like a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't like anybody put their hands on me. If I just don't like that. It gives me the creepies.
Yeah, she's strange. The first time I
Well,
met her.
maybe there's something in my past people don't know. So
Right. Well, yeah,
there's always a
there's all-
reason why
you're
people
right.
do things like
Yeah, absolutely right.
cutters and people that do things. They do it for a reason.
Right.
Because it's just one way of hiding from stuff you don't want to talk about.
Right.
Some people sleep in their house. They don't like the dark. I don't like the dark. I'm scared to death of the dark. There's no way you could ever get me to stay where Lee lives, Lee and Josefa, because it's so big. And when those lights are out, it's frightening to me.
Yeah.
Because she's used to asking when nobody was there, would I stay
Well-
over and watch the dog? And I thought, oh, hell no.
Well, you're right. Most people have some kind of, well, I don't want to call it insecurity, but things that bother them, issues, previous experiences, and what have you. If you were a child and some horrific things happen to you in the dark, I understand that. There's some people are afraid of dogs. I mean, really violently.
Oh, I've
Crazy
seen that.
about-
Michael Jackson was afraid of dogs.
Really?
Well, he said
I'm
when he
surprised.
was a Jehovah's Witness, they
People
would
used to
turn the
sick
dogs.
on them. Yeah. Get off
He was
my
scared
porch.
to death of dogs.
Yeah,
He had all those
that's
animals, but
understandable.
he did not want a dog. And
Wow.
I think with Pence, I think he just has those fears because I've always said it, even before people said it, just looking at him, I go, this guy is a man that really doesn't like women. I can look at him. And then when I seen his wife, and then I've seen pictures surface, I've never really seen a manly man wear a crop top. And there are pictures of him in crop tops that have surfaced.
Now, are these real pics or have they been, Photoshopped?
No, they're real pictures.
Yeah.
They're real pictures. I honestly
Crop
believe
top.
he had that conversion therapy because they still do that places. But my friend, when they did it to him and he was telling me, I had to laugh because he's probably the biggest queen you'll ever meet in your life. I said, it's obvious it didn't work. You can do shock treatment on people. And that's basically what it is. It's a shock treatment. And they used to do that it was done to my sister, which I think is horrible that it was signed for someone to be able to do that to her and not for no conversion therapy or just, it was done to her.
Electric shock treatment.
And that should be outlawed. I don't even know. Do they still do shock treatment?
I don't know.
I think it's horrible.
I don't know. I have no idea.
If you could see what it does to a person later on in
Yeah, it
life.
turns them into a vegetable.
Not even a
fries the
vegetable. It
brain.
makes them angry and a person that just everything bothers them.
Well, they didn't give them enough juice because the ones I've seen, they're just sitting there like null and void, just like.
Well, they throw all that Thorazine
And
in
they
them.
cashed out.
Yeah.
I told you at my therapy class when I first went, because I go to group therapy people, and it doesn't embarrass me to tell people. The first time I went, I wanted to call Lee and say, I don't think I belong here.
Why do you want to call me?
Because
Well, you want
I
me to
had
come
to
pick you
tell
up and get you
somebody.
out?
Because people walked in and they were like zombies. And I looked around and said, I don't think I belong here. But then other people came in that were like me. And it was funny when they got to talking, they totally became a totally different person. They weren't like a zombie. They were totally normal, I guess.
Lee was Dudley Do.
So it's
Yeah, right.
it's a trip because going there in my mind, I'm there for a reason because I enable my children, and then I get upset with myself, and I'm trying to learn not to enable them because that's what group therapies consist of, all different types of people. People are there because it's been court ordered because they have anger problems. But I actually enjoy it because I listen to other people's problems and I realize my problems are nothing compared to what I have to hear sometimes. Like, I think I told Lee there was a young man and his son was murdered a year ago, and he's there because he can't get past it. And it's a trip when you see people that retired. A lot of them are retired people that are just lonely and they're just depressed and very unhappy. I see a lot of them are there because of job related stuff that have driven them to a depression. So I realize depression, probably a lot of people, maybe 90% of the world gets depressed. And I think with Trump in the office, it's really depressing people.
I think there are some people who have been affected by his mere existence and the bullshit that he says publicly. There's no question about it.
Oh, I'm definitely affected. I won't deny it. I have a sick daughter, and if his health care goes through, my daughter dies. So he's an asshole. That whole group of them are. Why do you want to take lives from people? Is it a modern day genocide? Is that what we're doing? Because that's what it looks like.
That might be part of it, but they just don't care. It's
Not
real
at all.
simple. It's not complex to figure this out. They don't give
How
a damn
can you
about
be a Christian? Because most of these people are
they're not.
religious and they claim this.
They're hypocrites.
You're supposed to care about everybody. Everybody.
They're faking.
Because I have care. I have cried when I've seen different people on the streets. Maybe they have a huge tumor hanging from their stomach and you see it and they're out on the streets living. Things like, it's like, how do they not care? Where can they
'Cause it
spend
doesn't
all those
affect them.
billions of dollars with their greedy asses?
Well, they see people who are in dire need, and then they try to figure out how to profit from that. So they don't want you to have a cure for your problems. They want to prolong your life and keep selling you shit that will just keep you alive, barely.
Yeah, and you're right.
And they continue to.
They
profit
don't want
from
that weed stuff to come out because they know there is something behind it that can cure. They really know it. And it's funny because you listen to Gates, he's getting ready to donate most of his money to helping people, helping them go to school. Now, my uncle on my mother's side was filthy rich like that, but he donated his money to black colleges, a lot of it. And, I have a lot of respect for him for that.
Yeah.
But most of your billionaires, all they want to do is it's greed, and they better start worrying because all this is predicted, exactly what they're doing right now. It's all predicted.
Well,
And
what should we do? Should we just continue to sit around and complain about what they're doing, or should we figure out how to better ourselves and our family members so that we can continue to prosper?
Well,
it's kind of a crazy position. I mean, what do?
You don't think Martin Luther King helped when all the stuff was done to the blacks? You don't think that helped? Him protesting, I'm sure he got killed over it, but the problem is now is they're changing the laws. Look at the people that were protesting recently. Was it in D.C. or somewhere? Mm-hmm. And this one Republican said something, and the Democrat man said something back because after they put all the people out of I think it was in D.C., Alpha would know about this. When they put them out, the protesters, all the Congress people were in there fighting, and one threatened to kill a Democrat. They have his name, everything. I know. Is Alpha on?
Yeah, he looks like he's still connected, but his
because he normally knows all this stuff. It was all over the news.
Yeah.
That when people are trying to protest, look at it in Arizona, they want to say they can take your house if you protest and you block streets. Now, you can protest, but the legal way to do it is you let the police know, and it's like a permit almost.
Yeah, it is a permit.
And do it the right way. Then you don't have those problems.
Well, I would be surprised if a state law can override something that is in our Constitution. That would be surprising. I don't know how they can pull that one off.
I don't know lately with all the stuff I see. It's like, it's frightening.
It is.
And I purposely go into funny subjects on here sometimes just to steer away from it.
Well, that's good. You have to exhale. You have to breathe, and the world can't be a total disaster all the time. So
It's like yesterday, those 3 guys that came in here. There was one, Chris, he went to prison for 25 years and he was innocent. And to listen to him and how he's benefited himself since they finally let him out and what he did in prison, he's supposed to come on our show tomorrow, which hopefully I hope he shows up. Because didn't you think he was very interesting?
yeah, no question.
And just listening to him, he talked about how he ended up having to defend himself. He's actually got a book coming out. And it leaves you wondering how many people are sitting in prisons that are really innocent.
Probably hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
A lot of people. My brief time working with a prosecutor in Illinois, there were a number of cases where people were incarcerated and they were forced to admit that they committed a crime that they didn't do. But, when somebody sits you in a room 15, 20, 24 hours and just keep asking you the same questions over and over again, all you wanted to do is make them stop.
It won't let you go to sleep.
No.
So they're basically doing torture.
Of course. And you will admit to anything just to make it stop. See, yeah, I did it, man. I did it. How'd you do it? Well, I killed him. And that's good enough. And then they go to the grand jury and convince the grand jury that you did it, and boom, you're done. That's your ass. It's terrible. But that's where it goes.
Yeah,
It
I'd
is.
have trouble being a criminal lawyer. Because if you take on a case and then you realize they're either guilty or not guilty, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. That it is. Very tough. So those type of things happen all the time. And it's a shame.
Yeah, it's sunny. The world just isn't fair.
And, I've said to myself, there ain't no way in hell I'm going to admit to a crime that I didn't do. But you don't know the torture and the crazy that they take you through when they're asking you questions, and sometimes they even give you the answers to the questions. So did you, blah, 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 and you say yes, because they already know the answer. And you say yes to it, then they say, well, see, he admitted to it. So you go away forever and a day, and it's a shame. It's just a damn shame.
So basically, they're sitting them down and they're breaking them to a breaking point.
Exactly.
And if you're not a soldier or a Navy SEAL or somebody, a Ranger, where you've been put through torture things to be able to not say nothing, a normal human being probably would agree to it.
And even some well-trained military people are broken. You beat somebody day in, day out, leave them in the dark, don't feed them. They're, living in their own feces. Yeah, you'll eventually break.
Yeah, they do these, forced confessions, as you just talked about. And
Absolutely.
Like here in Chicago, you had a Commander Burge, and this guy would, put electrodes to your testicles and to give you shock treatment through there to make you confess to various crimes.
Yes. See, the threat of putting that on these nuts, I'd be throwing up before they put them on.
Oh, you don't use them anyway now, so I try to get him to date.
I did it.
I punked out. I did it.
That's got to be painful.
Where's the confession sheet? I'll sign it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Didn't you see the thing? I
we
think
got to go down this road.
That's got to be really
It
painful.
went down all right.
Did you see that? I sent Lee something with a woman that was laying on the beach. Was it in China? And the crab came up and bit her because it looked like a clam.
That's bovine. Ain't no way.
I sent that to Lee. I don't think I sent it to Chris.
No, don't send that to anybody else. That was a perfect clam. That was not the jam, okay? Yeah.
You know what? We were talking about ribs and barbecuing and smoking yesterday. Now, before I tell the story, everybody's familiar with rib tips at this panel, I assume, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. When I was producing radio, when I was back at WLS before I became a talk show host, I was a producer.
Right.
So producing this show, we were just talking about the best ribs in Chicago. It was a Friday, so we just kind of like kicking back.
Right.
And so this lady calls up from Rolling Meadows, a suburb outside
Right.
Chicago here.
Right. I know exactly.
She calls
what it
up.
is.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I called about the. I had this. I want to tell you about this great thing I discovered. Oh, okay. Well, go right ahead. Well, at this bowling alley I go to down the street, there's this brand new thing called rib tips. I was like, really?
Brand new
Yeah.
thing, huh?
They cut them up. They're ribs, and they cut them into bite-sized morsels. And you
Big
get
discovery.
French fries and bread and coleslaw in a basket. It's a brand new thing.
Wow.
Man, I had to put on hold so I could laugh my ass off.
Yeah, well, she's out there in the suburbs. She's been, she must have been in a coma. I mean,
Yeah,
who's-
God love her, though.
You know? Right. Exactly. Unreal.
But for her to discover rib tips, I was too through, man.
Yeah. Big discovery.
Bite-sized morsels.
I actually prefer that on occasions, especially.
Yeah,
if-
me
you-
too.
Yeah, it's easier to eat. And for some reason, and I don't think it's really true, but psychologically, I've convinced myself you get a little more meat, but probably not.
Well, what
I think it
is
depends.
a rib tip like a ribbed eye steak
No, it's the tip
of the
of
rib?
the rib. Yeah,
Oh.
there's a small section of the rib, and it's a smaller bone, and the meat is, I think, a little more tender.
It is.
And they chop that up into little small pieces, and they put it in a little, container, and your
With sauce
barbecue
on it.
sauce on it, and some
Right.
fries, and a couple slices of bread, and some grape Kool-Aid, and you're good to go.
Oh, man, that's going to be all right. That's the itis speaking to you right there, man. And between that, we have a place here on the south side where you can get your ribs or rib tips jerked with jerk seasoning. Oh, man.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's good eating, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to take Lee out to dinner for his birthday.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay. Where you going?
Well, he didn't call me.
I was waiting for you to call me.
No, I invited him and figured he'd call me. And a lot of times Lee just don't answer the phone.
That's because I'm tripping.
What were you tripping about?
I was driving.
You're driving.
Oh, that type of tripping.
Yeah.
Did you drive last night?
I did. Yeah.
Any good stories?
Did I have any stories last night? No, last night was kind of mild. I had one interesting ride. I don't know why the guy did this, but I picked him up at like 1 something, and he was in the southern part. It might have been Venice. And I drove him to the airport. I said, "What time is your flight?" He said, 5:15. I went, "What? Why are you going so early?" "Well, I don't want to be late." I said, "Are you going international?" He goes, "No, I'm going to Chicago." I said, "Man, why are you going to the airport like 4 hours early? What are you crazy?" He goes, "No, I just thought I'd go there and relax and just, I said, "Okay, here we go." It was like, 7 miles away, maybe 18-minute drive. So that was kind of strange. I would never go to the airport, especially at that time in the morning. There was no traffic.
Right.
So what's the
I'm
rush?
hip.
Yeah. The only slowdown was the stoplights. But it is a pleasure to go to the airport when there's absolutely no traffic. That's a breeze. So after that one, I turned in because I lived near the airport, so it was convenient. So, yeah, but that was probably the weirdest thing last night. He was a young guy. I don't think he was no more than 21. But he was going to Chicago. So he's there in your town right now.
Man. I had a conversation earlier this morning. I was talking to a lady, and she was talking about how nowadays you see the women depending on where you are or we go online, just as hard as the men nowadays. So, like for example, I remember I was shopping a few years ago, and the person behind me had bumped into me with their cart. So, oh man, I'm sorry, my nigga. The N words, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I turn around, it's a 15-year-old girl.
Mm.
I mean, with the voice and everything, like just how dudes talk on the street, she had the inflection and
Right.
everything down pat.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, not a problem. My Negro, I guess, or Negrette. I didn't know what to call it at that point,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that type of lingo, but if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Yeah, they know how to describe it all right.
Yeah, I'm just old school. That was not a pretty word in my world. So I don't care how you pronounce it, you spell it, whatever way. It's just a scar mentally for me.
No, absolutely. But see, that's the thing about they don't know that.
Yeah,
They turn around. I guess the so-called embracement. It's not an embracement.
yeah.
It shouldn't even be a form of endearment,
No, I don't think
and
so.
that's their language.
Yep. Yep. It was never a pretty description or used in a endearment way.
Mm-hmm.
None of that. No, hell no. Nope. I ain't going
Was
for
she
it.
a real
Sticking
young
with it.
girl?
Say that again.
She was real young.
Yeah, she's about 15, 16, yeah.
Mm.
But at first glance, you thought it was a 15, 16-year-old teenage boy.
Oh,
And
had
it
a
wasn't.
Little,
It was
little husky voice there.
Oh shoot, man! Like I said, I thought it was a male,
Right.
with the same inflection, tone, or voice, damn near deep as mine. I turn around, it's a 15-year-old teenage girl.
Mm. Maybe it wasn't.
No, that was a girl.
You sure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
okay.
was a girl.
Okay.
Well, as far as I can see.
Right. Okay. You gotta leave a little caveat in there nowadays. You just don't know.
Well, no, you're right, because that's why nowadays I'll say, hey, man, you want to go out see these girls? I said, look, make sure they're female women's.
Female women.
Female women's. They got, make sure you check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a friend of mine many years ago was in Cleveland, picked up a girl at the bar, and they went back to the girl's place, and to get what do you call it, the mambo, under the cover.
Oh, the
mambo.
mattress mambo.
Mattress mambo. So the girl goes to the restroom. All the lights are turned out. Come back, crawled in the bed, and so they start kissing and hugging and rubbing and carrying on. And he said he put his hands down between her legs, and he went, "Oh, what the hell?" He said, "Man, this chick had one bigger than mine." I said, "What did you do, man?" He said, "I kicked her ass." I said, "No, you didn't." He said, "Yes, I did. He scared the hell out of me."
It didn't matter to you, Lee. It didn't matter to you to ask if I was eating or not. Did it?
Well, I kind of figured you were a little while ago, because the
Yeah,
question
well.
was thrown to you. You didn't respond. You had your mic muted.
Well, I
So
was.
that was a good guess that you were chowing down.
Well, nature was screaming. It wasn't that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you got to answer that, Mama.
Well, you sure sat a long time.
Well, I've been there twice since.
When you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah, and you're on water pills. You're on water pills.
Yeah.
You know,
They'll
they play no favorites.
no. They'll have you run into the men's room left and right. You go, damn, I was just
That's
there a
right.
half hour ago.
Shoot.
I don't have that problem
Nature.
because I don't take any medications, but
Yeah.
I've been around people who, especially with the water pills, diuretics, right?
Diuretics.
That's right.
Diuretics on the
Yeah, I gotta
diabetics.
shoot. Yeah, I gotta make a new nation. I make like when I get, especially in the middle of the night with my midnight constitutionals, I make a new nation. I make the urination.
That's so nice to know.
Well, I figured I'd share. You know.
Yeah, you're good about
I
that.
just don't want to know about the other thing you guys might do.
What other thing is that?
The number 2.
Oh, I didn't talk about that. No.
No.
I can
There
always
was one
count
on
Carol to-
Facebook yesterday, though. This dog took a boop on the sidewalk. and I guess it was a little loose. And this guy comes walking up. And I don't know if he went to pick it up, but he slid on it. I thought that poor man.
Damn.
He went, shoo.
Sliding across.
Yeah,
Huh?
he slid right on
Ooh-wee.
that stuff.
Yeah, that's nasty.
No, he was walking
That's
up. It looked
nasty.
like he was going to
Nasty,
pick
man.
it up, and he slipped on it.
Yeah, when you walk your dogs out there, man, pick that shit up.
Well, he was. That's
Literally.
what I said. It's
Yeah,
not
pick
like
that
the
shit up.
woman. Remember, I gave you the video.
Yeah.
The dog's doing it in front of the man's house, and he comes out and tells her to pick that up.
Right.
Remember, she didn't want to pick it up. I didn't have. She said she didn't have nothing to pick. Remember, he wouldn't give her nothing. He made her use her hand.
No, first he was gonna kick her boyfriend's ass if she didn't
Her
pick it up.
boyfriend though didn't stick up for her.
You gonna well? Do you blame him? You gonna let him talk to me like that? He said, "Pick it up."
I'm not going to. It's your dog.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
That was kind of funny though, huh? Hey, you know what? Didn't know the whole thing, Elpa. What happened? Was it in Congress or somewhere? The protesters were in there and they were making them leave, but then all the Congress people started fighting.
Our Congress?
Something that was going on yesterday. Was it in D.C. when the
No,
one
it was-
Republican threatened to stab the Democrat or something?
What?
It was all over news.
Wasn't all the news I saw. I must
Elpa
have.
would've
I must have
known
missed
about
that
it.
one.
It was on the news. It wasn't fake news.
Was that yesterday? 'Cause the
Well,
only
I don't
thing
know if it
saw-
was yesterday or a couple days ago.
The only thing I saw was the one in Texas where the congressman called ICE on the people in the
Yeah,
gallery.
that's it.
And when ICE got there, all hell broke loose, and they were talking about deportation and violence. And the guy they called ICE, and ICE itself, they lacked probable cause to ask anybody anything.
Yeah.
Period.
So, but was there a fight at Congress?
A Democrat and
they-
a Republican, remember?
They were at each other because Republicans are let's see, you got McCarthy saying Putin pays Trump. That's a joke. And how many times did it turn into a joke after they've lied about it, and then they're confronted with either the tape, the audio? How many times does it then turn into a joke? And why is
Yeah.
that? Why is it their credibility still intact? Come on.
I don't know, man. I just don't understand all the crazy that's going on. Every
Really,
day
you-
is just like another layer. It's like peeling an onion back, another layer of bovine. It smells. It's just not. It doesn't make sense. How in the
You
hell
have
did
to-
we get here?
You have to understand we got here because no one wants to lose power. And once the Republicans have regained power, I'm telling you, they will fight you tooth and nail. They will advocate violence. They will do whatever. And I'm gonna tell you, you watch it. You let them get Trump. If they get Trump and drum him out of office, they'll be talking. The militias will be talking about, we're going to the streets. We're going, bring your ass to the streets, and I'll be on the side with the cops, and I'll shoot first.
You'll be
you
on
an
the side
officer?
with a cop.
With the cops,
Oh,
and I'll shoot first.
and you think that's going to help you?
I
don't think
I'm
so.
not trying to help me. I'm trying to get them. Lee, it's a war. It's a war. You can put any kind of suit on it you want to make it look good. I'm not one who advocates violence, but I'm not one to turn away from violence. I will defend myself. And it appears that that's what it's going to take. Look at every situation. every situation has come to pass at each turn.
Yeah.
What was it in Oregon? They were calling on the militias to protect the Republicans from the liberal insurgents. They're advocating violence. They want to turn this into some type of shooting war.
What's the upside of that?
There is no upside of that. The upside is that you wipe all them out before they wipe you out. There's no upside to that type of violence. Let's face it. Nobody wants to go down that road, just like nobody wants to go down the road for nuclear war.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go down that road, but damn.
Stupid Trump would do it.
Oh, he's looking to do it. You know why Trump wants to do it, Carol? You know why he wants to do it? He wants to do it because he can declare a level of shock doctrine. That way he can push through policies and programs that he never would be able to get into law. Putin will have fully taken over. Putin is winning right now. And that's what Democrats aren't telling the American people. Trump and Putin, Putin and Trump. Every time you mention his name, you mention illegitimate, you mention Putin, and you mention traitor. Every time you make reference to him, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And that's how you message. And that's the message you want and the perception you want the American people to have toward him.
Yeah.
How many people is it? 18 people have been in contact with Russia? How much money are we talking about in properties that his son-in-law owns?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. So why is he talking to the
Son-in-law's
bank?
richer than him, isn't he? His family.
Well,
how do
we
we
don't know.
know? How do
No
we
way
know?
to verify either or.
And the son-in-law is talking to the banker,
Yeah.
who is a KGB spy, graduate from KGB school, and appointed to the head of the bank by Putin. And Putin uses this bank to fund. He used this bank to fund the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
He used this bank. I mean, come on.
All right. Here's some good news right there in Chicago, in Illinois. ABC 7 is reporting Illinois House approves minimum wage hike to $15. So you need to go on back out there and get to work there, Alpha.
Now, will Rauner sign it?
Yeah,
You can
right.
approve what the hell you want. You can pass whatever the hell you want. Rauner will not sign that bill. He will veto that bill. And you know, they had enough to override his last veto. And you know why they couldn't?
Why?
They had a Democrat, one Democrat, who held out and wouldn't vote to override that veto.
No, why?
Now.
Why? Who was that Democrat? Do you remember his name?
I don't remember him. I don't remember his name. I can't even. I made it a point not to know where he was from, because I don't want to see him.
You'd have to pay him a visit.
I'd have had to pay him a visit. I mean, it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. Again,
This man,
you know,
Rauner's
the people we
Rauner's-
elect don't have the people's best interests at heart.
Okay,
And you can
but
argue
it-
that, well, you know, small businesses can't afford $15 an hour for, you know, to pay their people. Well, maybe you shouldn't be in business. Maybe
Well,
you
not
need
just-
maybe you need to learn how to manage your dollars better so that you can stay in business and pay good people, which means good customers, better customer service. You can attract a higher quality, more educated type person. Now, what happens to the person that's, you know, don't make the cut? They need to go back and retool themselves and get better prepared for a better job. I mean, that's
Now
just
tell me.
the natural order of things.
Now tell me one thing.
Was that?
With what you just said, why is it that all of the states that have raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour are enjoying, I would say, good things, surpluses? They are a blueprint for what could happen throughout the country. And yet Democrats won't use them as a template, as a blueprint. California, 26 billion, 26 billion in the red in debt. And now they are over 2 billion out of debt because they raised the taxes on the rich.
Well, I mean, common
extra
sense supports that 100%.
Okay, but not just common sense, but the polls support raising the taxes on the rich.
Right.
In Minnesota, the economy is thriving. In Kansas, where they gave tax breaks to the rich and took all the things, they instituted austerity.
Mm-hmm.
This Brownback governor, he had to go in and raise the taxes or something to that effect. But then they turned around and reelected him. After the state was in a death spiral,
Mm-hmm.
they went back and the white folks reelected him. Because we'd rather have this, this jackup rather than to have, somebody, some liberal. You see, they've turned liberal into a dirty word. They use it as
True.
a pejorative.
It's all
And
about the
liberals
narrative.
liberals have run it. It's all about the messaging.
Mm-hmm.
If you frame that narrative, that's what they will follow. Look what Trump said about Australia. You have a better health system than we do. What's wrong with Medicare for all? What's wrong with single payer? You get rid of the greedy private sector. Oh,
And
that's what it costs us.
and that because they're bought and paid for by the private sector, they got to protect it.
Exactly. But that private sector is going to lose X amount of jobs, yes. But the people who are supplying health care, those jobs will gain. That will be a push and a pull.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get it. I don't get the lack of messaging. I don't get their templates to follow. And Democrats simply won't beat that drum.
Because they're not true to form either,
I don't disagree with that. I definitely don't disagree with that, but just damn.
What is the solution, Alfo?
You always asking me for solutions. I don't have no goddamn solutions. Lee.
Well, you better work
I'ma
on
tell
that,
you,
man.
I'm gonna be honest with. I'm gonna be honest with you. They've pushed it. I tell you what the solution is, Lee. The solution is the rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
The solution are the talking points. If you can stop the misinformation,
Mm-hmm.
that just like Mulvaney was making, you have to have compassion for the people who pay taxes. What? The people who pay taxes are sucking up more welfare than the people you're giving handouts to.
Yeah.
But then you didn't hear me say that, nor do you hear the Democrats say it. Because they're getting their money from the same people. If I can't make enough an hour, I got to get on the SNAP program to feed my family. And then the corporations turn around and they get subsidies and tax breaks. Who's gaming the system? Who are the takers? Who are the moochers?
The big boys.
If 90% of your red states take more than they give, and 95% of your red state politicians decry moochers as being from blue states,
And that's the message that's heard. And they keep
Obviously,
beating that
nobody
drum
said
over
that.
and over again, and that's what gets engraved in these weak minds. People that are not free thinkers and can decipher the truth from bovine. And that's how we got to where we are. That's why we have Donald Trump in the White House. because he lied repeatedly, and people believed it because that's what they wanted to believe. A lot of people wanted to believe the things that he was saying. There are a lot of paranoid people out there that have been scared to death through the repeated lies through conservative media. And there's more conservative media, radio, and television outlets than there are liberal. So who
What is it?
is
9
the
or 10 to 1?
Yeah, who's the loudest drum beater? The Republicans.
Exactly.
Because they own it all. They own the advertising agencies. They own the media. They own the voices that are on the air. And they know how to work it. They know how to massage the weak minds that are listening to the bullshit that they put out every day. They beat that drum over and over and over again until they brainwash these ideas into the voters. Fear tactics. Everything you hear out of those guys is to scare the pants off of you, to believe that the world's going to come to an end, that you're going to lose your jobs, and you're going to have to pay too much for insurance. All the negativity that scares the hell out of people. It does have an impact.
You know who I can't wait to see go belly up?
Who's that?
The coal miners.
Yeah, they don't get it. But
Black lung and all.
exactly. Who's looking out for them? Nobody. Why are there so many coal mines in these red states? West Virginia, Kentucky, and all these other places that you have coal miners. Now, listen, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have access to good jobs. God bless them. If they can go down in that hole, man, and make $30, $40 an hour, I don't know what they're being paid. But there's a big risk factor in going down there. I'm not against using coal if it's, clean, if there's such a thing.
There's no such thing as clean coal.
Well, that's why I put that little caveat on it, if there's such.
And here's one of the most interesting things that I saw. The total number of coal miner jobs is about 70,000. Renewable jobs last year alone added 460,000.
Mm.
Now you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are clear. And not only that, we should have the technology. If we need to dig down in the earth, 200, 300, 400 feet, whatever it is, down into the earth, send some drones down there to do that digging. Which they have machines that does it already. Further advance that technology so that you don't put so many lives at risk. You're telling me you can't put cameras on these devices and so that someone can control that device 1,000 yards away or a mile away, wherever. Of course we can do that. We can put a man on the moon. We can do any damn thing. If that really happened.
I get so tired of hearing things about hard-working Rust Belt. Like nobody else in the country works hard.
Exactly. And I don't have a problem with people who are doing the job that needs to be done, performing labor-type jobs. Hell, I've done it. I'm not above doing anything. I'm pretty handy because I had to do it when I was growing up. One of my first jobs, I was a janitor. And when I worked at this high-rise apartment building in Virginia, the guy who was the chief engineer, the head custodian, taught me a lot of little things. Have you guys ever crawled into a boiler?
No. Wouldn't you boil?
Nope.
You have to crawl inside of a boiler to clean it. And it has tubes.
I won't fit.
You won't fit.
I won't fit.
Yeah, and it has tubes around the main tunnel of the boiler that you have to send a steel brush through to get the soot and crap out of it. That's one of the things I learned how to do. How to do a little plumbing, a little electrical work.
Well, back then they still had wooden spoons, and that's all. Shit,
No damn
Old
wooden
ass.
spoons.
old ass.
That I am. I am what I am. So, you learn how to do things. And then also, based on doing those type of labor jobs, I decided that was not for me. That I didn't want to spend the rest of my life crawling in a soot-filled boiler and doing hard labor work that would also impact on the quality of life that I would have years later. I said, well, I got to start using my head, my brain, versus my hands. So I made that decision to be smarter, become more educated, and follow my passion in doing radio. I can come in there every day, don't get dirty, minimum chance that I'm going to hurt myself, unless I stick my tongue in the electric socket, which I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you keep messing with Carol.
Well, yeah, Carol could get me messed up some kind of way.
Yeah, put your head through a plate glass and put it right back.
Pull it back out and throw it in
Back
again.
That's right.
So I have
She'll touch you then. Unless she won't touch you.
Yeah, right. Well, I won't be able to touch her. That's the key. See, she don't mind putting her hands on you,
Right.
then toss you through a plate glass window and pull you back through, but don't touch her.
Yeah, but I'm not like that now.
You've changed. Huh?
I'm a
Not
totally
today,
different
no.
person.
A leopard don't lose its stripes. Okay,
They put me
so-
on medication.
Oh, okay. The next
Uh-oh.
phase is electric shock treatment. Okay, I
Sure.
got some pads over here for you. Make your hair stand up. Don't mess
No,
with
I
me.
walk away from stuff now.
Well, that's smart. See, you've matured. And so have I. I mean, I think most people, unless you're just crazy as hell,
Yeah, it's
you
better to just ignore stuff and walk away.
Yep, that's right. Say, this is too much. It ain't worth it. Bye-bye. See you later, alligator.
I don't know why I'm so tired.
Did you sleep well last night?
Yeah, I slept.
Yeah.
I woke
How many
up.
hours
Little
did you
man was
sleep?
sleeping with me all night.
How many hours did you sleep?
I fall asleep. If I go in my room at 7 and I turn the TV on, I fall asleep.
At
If
7
I go in
o'clock?
my room at 10, turn the TV on, I fall asleep.
Yeah,
I
that-
don't remember what time I went in my room.
Yeah, that TV is magical, isn't it?
Yeah, I never finish a show. It's got to be really good but I fall asleep. It's like it puts me to sleep.
It's magic.
And see, nowadays TVs shut off automatically.
Yeah, you can set a timer on them to do that. I don't think I've ever used that. Maybe once or twice. Once or twice.
And I had a long walk this morning.
Well, that's good. Did you see your friend out there, your stalker?
No, I told you there was a condom laying where I park. Everybody knows I park in the same spot, and that was a little disturbing.
You think that was a sign for you?
I
or-
don't know.
I doubt
told
it.
you, the
was-
guy creeps me out.
It was probably just some, people
He
out
strikes
there.
me to be somebody that would hurt somebody, a woman, because
Well,
the anger in his face.
yeah, just stay away from him.
You
Yeah, I
supposed to
make
be
sure I walk
packing,
behind
Carol.
people.
What was that?
You're supposed to be.
Al
Carol,
Folks,
you're
right?
supposed to be packing. Carol's supposed to be packing
Yeah,
You
right.
can't have guns in California.
and shoot him on sight.
No, you can't have guns. We're not like when they live in other states. You cannot have them.
Carol, you
What?
can't have guns in Chicago either.
Yeah, but
I've
down
had a
south
gun.
they walk around with rifles and that.
I've had a gun since I was 13 years old. Okay, but you can't have.
Yeah,
a
you
gun
get
here in
caught out
Chicago.
here though with a gun, and you don't have it registered, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I think you can. You can get a concealed weapon
If
permit,
you got,
can't you?
if it's registered.
Yeah,
Right,
in
right.
Chicago now.
I wouldn't do
Yeah,
it
unless
because
you're black.
I'm kind of temperamental, and
You
it's
might
not worth
bust a
it.
cap in
I'd
somebody's.
probably shoot myself, probably. accidentally.
Yeah, you don't need a gun.
I don't need
Help
it.
her
Pass
out,
on the
Chris.
gun.
I know how to walk away from stuff. It's just this man's creeping me out.
Well, avoid that area for a while, and then he'll see that you're
There
not
was
coming
one
around.
guy that used to be out there, and I was with Lee one day at Costco's, and I think he thinks Lee was my boyfriend after. Remember, we both had our own carts?
Yeah.
And he
I
came up,
remember
we
that.
started talking, but when me and
Right.
Lee sat down, we were sitting together eating, what was a hot dog?
Hot dog or sausage or
He
something.
came by and he didn't say nothing
Yeah,
again. I think
yeah.
he thought, oh, that's her boyfriend.
Well, see, I protected you. I got the hanks off you.
Oh, he's nice. I thought he was Leon a couple times before Leon died.
Yeah.
I miss old Leon, though.
Yeah. He was a good guy.
That was part of my walk was Leon.
Yeah.
I mean, I
did
don't
he
know how
actually
many times I walked up to his car and banged on his window. Leon, are you dead?
Damn.
He'd
That's a
say,
hell of a
wake up, and
question.
he goes, no, I'm not dead.
I'm sorry. Who was Leon?
Leon Ware,
He was a recording artist, a writer,
Oh.
arranger,
writer,
producer. Yeah.
very big one.
Okay.
Yeah. You've heard his stuff. Absolutely.
I didn't know he did Michael Jackson's Jackson 5s, did it,
Yeah,
everybody.
he did some stuff with them. Yeah.
And that, but he died, and it's sad not to see him because he was in remission from his cancer, and it came back.
Did he ever walk with you?
No, because most of the time he was sick, and then he went into remission, and he would walk maybe a little ways. Leon was probably in his 80s,
I think he was. Early 80s.
but then all of a sudden he started getting sick because his wife's name was Carol, and he called me one day thinking he was calling her, and he
Right.
was in the hospital, and he was telling me
Right.
how bad off he was. And I
Wow.
go, oh. And then it dawned on him that I wasn't his wife.
So, oops, wrong Carol.
But I'd seen him a few times after that, but then he was gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were trying to get him on to do an interview with him, but we could never get it to work out. Leon Ware.
Very nice guy.
Yep.
I think a few of the
I hadn't
people
seen him
out
in
there, I
years.
know that a lot of the dogs are dying because they're older dogs. I'm a little nervous about this one sheepdog. I hope he doesn't die because he's a therapy dog and he just loves people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes up. He wants everybody to pet him. My little Chihuahua dog, though, he's so well trained. If the guy puts him on the bench while he's working out,
Mm-hmm.
he looks at him to ask, like he's asking him, "Can I go run to Carol?" And it's the
Get
cutest
permission.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yesterday he did that. He was on the bench and he'd seen me coming, but he would not jump off that. And he looked at him like, "Can I go run to Carol?" And he must have told him he could go because all of a sudden he's running to me.
Yeah.
And I don't give him no treats. He just likes me.
Yeah. Probably smell that cat on you.
No, he likes me. There's something about me. That other
got
dog,
meow.
there's another dog that liked me, but he died.
Or which
He was
cat
an
do you
old
smell?
dog, and he
Oh,
looked like a
Jesus.
toy.
No, I knew this would turn ugly.
Why? What did Chris say?
It says- Go repeat it, Chris. I can't. I'm above.
No,
Yeah,
I
go
just
on
said
and
which
repeat
cat.
it.
I mean, as far as the scent was concerned, which cat was he smelling?
Oh,
Well, I don't know. He
That was
doesn't
an
go
easy
near
out.
me down there. Now, this Mastiff does, but that's Lee and Josefa's dog does the same thing, Jack. You
That
come
ain't
and
my
he
dog. That's
nudges you.
not, yeah.
He nudges you.
Who is your lordship? Is that Lord have mercy?
Lord.
Your lordship.
We haven't
On-
heard
on-
from Lori because you don't have these phones fixed.
That could be a good thing.
Yeah. That's intentional. So you weren't supposed to
Are
bring
you
that
getting
up.
it fixed?
No, never.
No.
No. Forget about it. Anything to keep Lord from
Forget
calling
about
in. Yeah. Yeah. Your lordship on Periscope. Thank you for tuning in. We
Oh,
appreciate
he came
that.
in on Periscope?
I don't know if that's
Oh, maybe
Lord
it
have
isn't.
mercy or not. It might be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of the devil, he's calling us now.
Answer it.
It don't work.
Yeah, I can answer it, but it won't be on the air.
Oh.
Watch. Hello? Yeah, well, I hear the delay coming back to me. What's up, Lord have mercy?
How are you all?
Is that you on Periscope as your lordship?
What is the Periscope?
Oh, no, then that's not you if you don't know what Periscope
No,
is.
that's not
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
What is the Periscope?
It's an app that you have on your phone that you can broadcast from.
Oh, okay. How is everybody?
Everybody's good. We missed you so much.
You didn't miss me too much. You know where I was at. If you wanted to find me, you could have. But when summer rises, crime arises, or when people get their ass kicked, they want to learn how to defend themselves. So I have been very busy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Busy is good.
Yeah, but what happened up in Portland was truly ugly.
What happened in Portland?
That's where those guys.
Oh, you were talking about the girl, the two guys that got killed protecting the two black girls.
Oh, yeah. Okay. My bad.
Did you
I thought
see how
something new was
bad he
happening.
stabbed the guy that lived, though? Did you look at that cut? Oh, my God. What a
Well,
horrible.
this man was crazy all the time. They just never paid no attention to him. See? Now, they're trying to make it a hate crime, but they know that he hates Christians, Jews, and Muslims.
Well, in court, it was a hate crime if you listen to him.
Well, what is he to hate? He hates everybody.
Because he said he didn't feel he did anything. He
expressed
did a
that already,
favor.
Christians, Jews, and Muslims.
Right.
Um,
Equal opportunity
Train has
hater.
always had fighting on it and whatnot, so there's been several people killed on that train because of lack of police protection or speed to get there. But man, I'm how you get. See, I'm looking at it on a self-defense basis. How did three people let one person stab them with a knife?
Yeah.
See,
Wasn't he a pretty big
that
guy?
happened in the hood.
Right. Well,
One
see,
person would have got the knife, and the other would have beat the shit out of him.
well, see that's why people are basically are afraid. They're terrorized. They're afraid to jump into a situation. And
But
I
they
think
jumped into the situation.
They
You see
jumped
what
in
I'm
to
saying?
protect the girls.
They jumped into the
Yeah.
situation, and they didn't know how far it was going. So they got up and decided to protect these girls. There was no sign that he was going to stab them. When he went over there, these guys were trying to protect him. He pulled the knife out then.
right.
You know, why did nobody use their legs to kick them off? See, and people don't, like you said, they don't know, they get fear. That's when I come in. See, and it's a shame to say that it's happened now. This Republican is going to have some kind of want to hire a militia. You hire that militia, there will be a fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the
All
answer.
because you have a gun and you got the permission to carry. We have open carry here also, so you can carry your M16 downtown.
Are you comfortable with that?
You are. I ain't tried it out yet, so.
Are you comfortable with the idea of somebody walking down the street with an M16 on their shoulder?
Yeah,
You are, huh?
yeah, because I have my 911.
But I mean, you don't know the mental status of a person,
You're exactly right. You don't know.
right?
But you know one thing, he was sane enough. Oh, wait a minute, you know that needs to be rethought because you crazy folks cannot get guns again.
Well, you may have been sane when you got it, but maybe you lost your mind later, or more importantly,
Anybody that stands up and anybody that tries to defend anything Donald Trump has said has lost their mind.
well, that's true. That's true. But Lord, let me just say this: what if I don't have a permit to carry any kind of gun, not even a BB gun? But I come in and I break into your house and I steal your gun and I start walking down the street with your gun over my shoulder. See, we don't know whether this person is legit in carrying a gun, whether it's open or otherwise. See, that's my concern. What is the mental capacity or lack thereof of a person walking down the street with a damn firearm on his shoulder or in his hands.
Go lay down.
We don't know if that person's, well trained, sane, or about to do something that is insane. We don't know.
Exactly. Well, when they walk down the street by themselves, they do pull them over. Okay? It has been done. See, but here you can go to, right now, my town is concealed carry. But if I go into Salem, it's open carry. And if I have a concealed, and somebody say I got a concealed gun, the police are coming. See? So you have to watch how you wear it. And you go from one township to one township.
Right. So it's not a statewide law.
No, it is not.
Mm-hmm.
Concealed carry is, but these little counties can have what they want up in it. If they can refuse a Walmart, they can refuse you to carry your gun out in the open.
So now, Lloyd, you're in.
I think that another thing that's stopping that is that, well, people of color's been getting guns,
Now, let me ask you this. You're up in Oregon, right?
Yeah, I'm in Oregon.
Okay. So can you carry your concealed or open carry into a bar?
Yep, sure can.
So just like back in the old cowboy days, you can walk in there with your sidearm on and have 4 or 5 shots of whiskey.
No, you can't do that.
No?
No, you got that gun. You go get one drink. That's it.
Oh, and then they'll ask you to leave.
No, they're going to call the police to ask you to leave. Ain't going to have just no drunk person with no gun.
Okay.
The police have them removed. That's their job.
So the guy gets a couple shots in him and refuses to leave. They call the cops. Cops come. You might have a shootout. So if you didn't allow this guy to come into a bar with a firearm at all, then that would remove the possibility of a shootout, right?
Okay. That's true. Now, if we take away all the guns, then the guns. Let me ask you a question.
Well, at least not allow a person with a gun to go into a bar
Let me ask you.
or a nightclub or a restaurant for that matter.
You in a bar in Jamaica. Somebody got a problem with you. They go home and get their machete and hack you to death.
Okay.
Now, which would you rather be, hacked or shot?
Neither.
No, I did not ask you that.
No. I understand. I understand. You posed a trick question.
Which would you rather have done? Because if you ain't got no gun and somebody wants you, they coming to hacking. And if they don't come in hacking, they're going to bludgeon you. So if they want you, they want you.
I want to have a. I want to have a.
Plus Oregon has had a history of racism. The guy they killed her son. Black lady killed her son, and she found out he was linked to one of these neo-Nazi groups, and she sued them. They went bankrupt, and she got all their land.
Okay, but her son is dead, so that was not really a net gain as far as I'm concerned. But here's the other problem I have, and you pose a good question. Which would you rather face, a guy with a machete or a gun? Well, I don't want to face either one of them, but I want to have a fair chance to respond to protect myself in some kind of way. Now, maybe the guy with the machete, I might have a better chance at than the guy with the gun, because if I see him coming, if he comes up behind me and starts whacking at my neck, then I got no chance in hell.
He got to start whacking at your neck. He'll probably hit you in your leg first so he can't run.
Well, I don't think it makes much of a difference whether he chops my head off or.
Somebody chase you with a chair to get cut and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Well, listen, if he whacked me in the leg first, what is he going to do? He's going to finish me off, chances are. So I ain't got a chance in hell either way.
Then you be thinking, damn, I wish this would just drive by. Those be your last words.
Well, you asked a
But
tough
listen,
question.
though, that's really, you got people that were in bars where the bars getting robbed and somebody with concealed carry came through. I mean, of course you have these things. Chicago's had its fair share, and they're going to get more. And it all boils down to the good guy with the gun. But every racist thinks they're the good guy.
Yeah.
They think, and even it's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
You said it right.
He did not mention anything about Islamic terrorism in Saudi Arabia, did
Of
he?
course not. Because he probably cut a deal with the Saudis to make some more money. You know, the Saudis are like double agents. They'll do deals with anybody
He
and
didn't deal
everybody.
to sell them some more weapons. He didn't have to go over there for that. And plus, if that's the case, we sell them billions of dollars of weapons. Where the money gonna go to?
Right. Come back to haunt us.
And this is why a lot of countries hate us now, because we provide weapons to other countries that try to kill them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that idea of selling weapons to even our allies. I mean, get your own shit, man. If everybody's got what we got, then
Jake Merkel's hand
if
really pissed me off.
I don't like an even fight. So if I sell planes and weapons to other countries that are equal to what we have, then what is that all about? I like an unfair advantage.
Something up your sleeve.
See, I don't want everybody to have what I got when it comes to
Up
weapons.
your sleeve. That's what you want. The old American way.
Well, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah, but it's been not booming, but these people have. I hate to. My website, it doesn't have the fear factor. You need to learn this before next time. You don't know if you might get killed in the street. And some people have that on their website. Well, you don't
Right.
know. Some people I've taught never use it. Never. Some people have used it.
Right.
But it's better to have skills and not need them than need them and not have them.
Well, that's a good point.
That's what a lot of people are realizing now.
Yeah.
So therefore, I mean, all because you have a gun doesn't mean you're going to go hooping and hollering out in the street. It's not going to do that. You got very strong laws. A guy had pulled a knife on a man. The man pulled the gun out and shot the gun in the ground. Nobody reported it. The camera caught the man shooting the gun. He lost his concealed carry license.
Why would he lose? I mean, isn't that a form of
You put that gun out on
self-defense?
Someone, you're supposed to detain them and call the police. And he discharged the weapon twice, scaring the person.
See, I don't have a problem with that. As opposed to taking someone's life and you fired a couple of rounds into the ground and caused no damage, then, and if that saved your life and lives of other people, then where's the crime?
I didn't say that. See, you thinking I'm saying he had to pull the gun and shoot him. No. If a man that with a knife sees a gun, he ain't going no further for it. Okay? He was supposed to stay there and detain that man.
Unless he's just real crazy.
That is the law. When you pull your gun, have a reason.
Well, that wasn't a good enough reason. A guy's coming at you with a knife?
Yeah, it was a good enough reason to pull your gun.
The cops used that as a reason to kill.
It was not a reason to discharge his gun, period.
If he had discharged it into the man, would that have been appropriate?
No, because it was still, even on the camera, it shows the man, when the man pulled the gun out, the other man backed up and dropped the knife.
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay? When he dropped the knife, the man shot to the ground and the other man ran. See, the fight was over when you pulled the gun out. But he was supposed to detain that. If you're going to let him go, let him go. But when he shot that gun, the whole presence changed.
Right.
And that's why he lost, because he played the game. You don't play games with this. If you're going to use it, you detain someone. He didn't have to shoot the man, but if you pull the gun, if you have a reason to fear for your life, you pull your gun out.
Right.
You fear for your life? Yeah, well, where's the man you feel for your life for? Where you at?
Well, the video showed everything.
Shot the ground he'd have to shoot in the ground. He's just with his girlfriend, showing off up in Portland. And that's another thing. Portland has a phrase where they want to keep Portland weird.
Keep it what?
That's that phrase, keep Portland weird. And you cannot be weird and safe. That's why when I go in Portland, I do not be there with nightfall.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'll be on the black side of town.
Well,
I know I ain't safe, but I ain't got to worry about weird walking up on me.
well, it's a shame that we live in this so unpredictable but predictable at the same time environment, and being fearful of going out to have a good time with your friends or your family, and not have to worry about some jackass walking into the building and going, shooting up or hacking up people.
Walking down the street like Chicago tomorrow and weekend. But I'm going to tell you something about Chicago. They got dumb cops. Okay? Either the cops are stupid or they're in on the shootings. It's that simple.
Interesting.
There's just too many, and they always avoid the police. Nobody has the common sense or common knowledge to get the license plates or whatever. I don't know if they did or didn't. It was ignored. Okay? But if Mr. Jones sees somebody get shot, he breaks out his shotgun to shoot somebody in the car, and they cops, what are they supposed to think?
Yeah.
And I really feel that it is policemen.
I wanted to tell you something before we go off. Did you see where Waze, Waze, the one that you use that'll tell you where to go?
Mm-hmm.
They started an app for carpooling where you could carpool with somebody that's going in your direction. But the joke is, you don't know who you're picking up. When they were talking about it, it's a new app. Like, say you got to
What's it called?
drive somewhere. It's with Waze. It's called carpooling. And I thought,
Waze
that's,
carpooling?
Yeah, check it out. I thought, well, that's kind of dangerous because, and then the news lady said the same thing I was thinking at the same time. She said, well, how do you know who's getting in your car that you're carpooling with? Oh, you've seen it too?
No, I remember. I know what it's called.
Yeah, it's a new app. It's Waze Carpooling, where you can carpool, and they charge something when you pick the person, but they don't take no money.
Well,
But
yeah.
the thing is how are they protecting you if you pick up somebody and you don't even know who it is?
Well, that's true. You can kind of say the same thing for Lyft and Uber. We don't know who we're picking up.
Yeah, but the thing is they have to have a credit card, and it can't be a prepaid one.
Yeah, and if you look on my website where it says for car protection, I do have a picture of the man who was attacked, the Uber driver that was attacked by someone.
Well, that could happen with anything.
So what would you suggest for an Uber or Lyft driver or any rideshare guy or woman to protect themselves?
You get paid through whatever. You ain't got no money on you, right?
Correct.
What I would suggest to you is you need to put your mind in the situation you want to avoid. So if you feel like a driver is going to pull something and try to grab you behind your neck, you practice for that. It doesn't make a difference what you try to do as long as you do it. You know your speed. If you're going to train yourself for those positions. But the thing about I'm going to tell you, if you think he has a knife or gun, put your head or your back on the gun. That way you know where it is. And when you move, that gun's going to move.
Well, when that guy did that, though, the cops, I think, came up behind, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And he got out, the guy that... I mean, you get that chance with anything. I think Uber is a little more safer and Lyft because they do have to have their credit card on file.
Yeah, well, they know they don't. If they got some money, it's like $10, $15 on it, and it ain't worth going to jail or prison for $10, $15. Now, it was a Chicago case.
Well, though they tell you should always carry some cash. So if somebody wants to rob you, you have something to give them.
You know what? That's a shame to say, but you right. 'Cause
No,
some-
I know I'm right. You really should keep some cash because they'll get angry. I mean, lately there's been a lot of violence with people breaking into older people's houses. I mean, one older lady, they broke every bone in her face. These young guys. But look at the one the other day. It turns out he's running from, is it Colorado or Oregon? 17-year-old kid. He's already running from killing somebody. And he got caught the other day. I don't know if it was the one in Santa Monica when they hit the boy with the hammer. You don't have to do that to rob somebody. Just give them your stuff so they'll leave. Your life should be more important.
Robbing somebody or fighting somebody, you don't want any resistance. That's
No.
why you find the person that's the weakest. When you find a weak person and you can get to them, that it's striking. That initial fear and or pain in them gets them what they want.
Yeah, because they don't really care who they. My friend came
Caught up
home.
in that bloodlust.
My friend came home to two people upstairs in her house, and she knew something wasn't right when she opened the door, and they heard her, and they yelled something. She took off running. But they got her computers, everything. But like I said, you're alive. That's frightening, though.
It is. And it's horrifying to think that, there's so many people out there that want to do some harm to you. Well, thank you, Lord have mercy, for calling in. But there was somebody named
Good time and
your Lordship on Periscope, and I thought that was you. But obviously it was not. But you should check out Periscope, maybe. Download it on your phone, and you could do your own broadcast. What do you think about that? I guess he hung up. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us again today on the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and the cast of characters. Alpha was here today, and Chris Bass. Thank you for being a part of the show. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m., right here on thepowerofvoices.com, YouTube Live and Facebook Live, and Periscope. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we love you. Oh, by the way, up next is Full Body Frequency with Laura Rice, and she's got some guys on talking about dating. Boom shakalaka. That should be interesting. Stand by.